brought to you by yours truly. I'm Gulchem, the founder of Jumpstart YouTube. And today we're talking all about how you can create a YouTube channel that attracts your clients. And it's essentially a moneymaker, because I'm all about making sure you YouTube your way to higher impact, meaning you reach more people with your organic marketing. You get qualified leads to work with you one-on-one or through your other offerings, as well as actually create a consistent income, and part of that be actual passive income. So let's dive right in. So tell me if this is you, because if this is you, you're definitely in the right place. So if you have an online coaching business, or if you're thinking about having an online coaching business and you want to increase your visibility and authority without necessarily doing more marketing, maybe you want your marketing to be a bit more effective and a bit more easier to scale without spending too much time online, because you can probably relate to this, but as online business owners, we do a lot of marketing, which does mean we spend a lot of time online, but we will get to that in a minute. Not all marketing is actually created equal, because some marketing is not as scalable as it should be. The third thing is maybe you want to build additional sources of revenue for your business. So not just sell your own coaching services or programs, but you want to be earning extra cash through affiliate marketing, maybe sponsorships or other types of ad revenue. And last but not least, you really want to be building a personal brand online for your business. And this especially is true if you're in a business where you are facing your clients, meaning that your face is essentially your fortune. So that's basically what your business is all about. And you want to be able to scale that and reach more people by just being you on the internet. This one is a bit more for me, because I just like to make sure that my phone is on silence. So I always put the slide in more to remind myself, just to like turn off the distractions, which we have plenty of these days. And this is what we're going to be covering today. So we're going to be looking at why your current marketing strategy is probably not as scalable as you'd like it to be. We're going to be looking at how to leverage YouTube and have video become your hardest working employee, even while you're asleep, because that's the beauty of YouTube. And we're going to look at how to actually define some of the content that you could potentially be sharing on YouTube. And last but not least, I will be sharing the 4-pillar proprietary method that is of Jumpstart YouTube Academy, and have a special invitation for those of you who are watching it live or on the replay. All right, so let's tackle the first question. Is your marketing scalable? Let me know down in the chat, or if you're watching this on the replay, down in the comments, what do you think about when you think of the term scalable marketing? What are some things that pop up? Let's see what is coming up here. So we have to be able to get in front of more people in your target market. Yes, I love that. I think we can definitely all resonate with that, because we want our marketing indeed to be so that we reach more people. All right. And Charlene says that it can be used to create more marketing from less work. Yeah, I love that too. So essentially, killing two birds with one stone, metaphorically, of course, because we should not be killing birds. With that, I kind of want to talk to you about all of the social media platforms we have out there, and to kind of give you an idea of how long your content lives on these platforms. So essentially, there are two categories. You have the categories of platforms that really favor content when it comes to their recency. So this is like Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, where basically your content disappears within just a few minutes. And then you have places like Facebook and Instagram, and LinkedIn, where your content does live a little longer. And depending on the kind of engagement you get, they can live a bit longer than this as well. But it's basically posting and you're not really getting a lot more for your marketing. Now, it's really interesting to see here. Some of these, I like to call them more short-term marketing platforms. And then some of them I like to call a little bit more long-term marketing platforms. Now, the reason being is that, of course, posting on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn is great for when it comes to you need to generate clients for the next few weeks. You need to tap into a shorter term marketing platform to be able to generate those leads as quickly as possible. However, the longer term marketing is what's going to allow you to create a sustainable and scalable business. So here we have, of course, YouTube, where your content lives for much longer, as well as Pinterest, and of course, your blog. The main reason is a lot of this type of content is search engine optimized, and it doesn't necessarily rely on just constant posting. So if there is one thing that I really want you to take away already, is that YouTube is a very important part of your long-term marketing strategy. Therefore, this is something that you should keep in mind if you're serious about having a profitable long-term business. And when I say the content on YouTube lives longer, this is exactly what I mean. So this is a screenshot from my analytics from one of my latest videos. And you see how many days the content has been up. It's been up for about 30 days from the time I took this screenshot. But you can see every single day, the impressions, as you can see here, and as you can see here, has actually been increasing every single day. Unlike if I was to post this on another social media platform and it dies out within few minutes or few hours. So this is the beauty of YouTube. The moment you have the right kind of videos up, your videos are always going to reach a new audience. Your impressions are always going to increase. So your qualified clients are watching YouTube, and most of the time, the things people go and search for on a platform like Google and YouTube, which, by the way, Google owns YouTube, is basically answers to their problems. They're most of the time typing how-to questions, right? And this happens in all sorts of different niches. So your qualified clients are watching YouTube, and statistics show that the average session time is 40 minutes per sitting. And there are billions of people actually watching YouTube in every single given day. So your clients are watching and they're searching for answers. So a little bit about me. I'm Gulce. I'm a YouTube digital creator and a strategist. And my biggest mission is to help online coaches and entrepreneurs to YouTube their way to higher impact, qualified leads, and consistent income, while also, of course, building your own personal brand at scale. And I do all sorts of workshops, trainings, one-on-one coaching, and group programs to get entrepreneurs to successfully set up and scale their YouTube channels. And this is something that really lights me up because I love when my clients start to reach the audience that they've always dreamt of while spending actually less time marketing their business. And it wasn't always like this. I started my own channel about 2 years ago. I was very, very scared, but a part of me couldn't wait anymore to start my YouTube channel. So I pressed record August 2019. I had this tiny studio apartment I was living in back then. I had this messy background. I had no makeup, messy hair. Actually, I still don't really wear makeup or do my hair for my videos up until this day. I didn't have a fancy outfit, and I really wasn't sure if anyone was going to watch me, but I leaned into my fear. I acknowledged it, but I said, you know what? Today I'm on the driver's seat. You're going to go to the back seat. I'm kicking you out for today, and I'm just getting started with this video. And this is basically how my own YouTube journey started. And in the beginning, it's definitely consistency, strategy, and patience game, because your first few videos, as you can see here, they're not really going to get the traction that you deserve, right? And most of the people give up right about here. They upload a few videos and they're like, wait, why haven't I got millions of subscribers? Where are my thousands of views? And then they give up. But as you can see here, the beauty starts to happen with consistency, the right strategy, and the right kind of videos. And then your channel is going to grow. So this is already one thing that I also want you to take away from this training is if you are going to get started with YouTube, it is the long game and you need to have a certain mindset to upkeep the consistency and the patience. And once this growth starts to happen, you become so much more motivated to share your message because you see that people are interested, you have an audience and people are coming back for more. And you're reaching new people with your content because that's basically what YouTube does. It's a search engine and it serves your content to new people. And your email list starts to grow on autopilot simply because you're making videos and you're directing people to come join your email list. And you're going to get emails of people who actually want to work with you. So you don't even have to go through that whole process of having a sales call because people will have watched your content. They already have that know, like, and trust factor with you that they already email you asking how can you help them. And of course, you're also going to have additional YouTube related income streams. So as basic as just earning, small revenue from Google AdSense, which also grows as your channel grows. You get more and more qualified business leads that not only want to work with you, but they literally send you emails like, when can we work together? And you also get paid to promote yourself and your business. And this can also happen through other sponsorships or partnerships, which we will talk about toward the end of this training. Now, a lot of the time, it's important to just be consistent and have the patience because it personally took me just under 1 year to get my first 1,000 subscribers and around 60,000 views. But it's like investing in the stock market. The growth on YouTube starts to pick up momentum quite quickly over time. So basically in 3 years from now, I'm projected to have over 150,000 subscribers and 10.5 million views, which is really mind-blowing. And I want you to ask yourself this. Imagine what would having 150K plus subscribers who are engaged and 10 million video views would mean for your personal brand, the legacy of your business, and ultimately your business bottom line. And yes, when you think about these numbers, they are big and it can feel quite scary and hard to achieve. But the moment you start, this is where you're going to end up in one way or another. It's just a matter of time. So most of the time, what my clients ask me is, okay, but what does it look like if it's easy? And the easiest answer here is to create engaging videos that your people want to watch. And now there are two components to that, and they both lead into your business. You have the engaging videos, and under engaging videos, you have things like your video topics. How do you deliver those topics? How long people watch your videos for? How often do people click your videos, etc. And then your people are basically your ideal audience that you want to serve in your niche, and you have an idea of their demographics as well as their psychographics. You have a good idea of their aspirations, problems, and the kind of transformation that they're after. The moment you're able to create the right kind of videos and get them viewed by the right kind of people, this is where it ties in so nicely with your business, because this is where you can sell your own solutions that you provide while building a community, get those evergreen leads, even sell your courses as passive income sources. This is very, very doable, leveraging the power of YouTube. And most importantly, you are creating your long-term online legacy. Now, I have a question for those of you attending live or in the replay. Which channel do you think would grow quicker? Channel A or channel B? Let me know in the chat. Okay, so we have channel A and we have channel A. Okay, well, interesting that you say that, but in fact, channel B would grow a lot quicker. And now I can almost hear you ask, but why? The reason is that this channel has a very clear niche and it's aligning its efforts to really grow a targeted audience covering certain range of topics that are within that niche or within that sub niche. And a rule of thumb is to create 80% super niche content, and 20% of the time you can create other types of content that are not necessarily within your business or within your zone of genius, so to say. Now here, what channel B does really well is it's in the niche of personal finance, and within the niche of personal finance, you can have possible sub niches, right? So you could have a channel which is just all about the stock market. You could have a channel which is just about investing in real estate or just about financial minimalism. Now here, what channel B does is that it's talking a lot about investing your money, which is the 80% of the content that they're talking about, but 20% of the time they're also touching upon other sub niches, like they're talking about building an emergency fund or purchasing investment property. So this is something that I really want you to keep in mind. The saying riches are in the niches are actually very true when it comes to YouTube. It doesn't have to be so strict. You can still create content that you're also very excited about, but be mindful of the kind of niche you're in and actually deep down go a lot further to discover what are the sub niches that you really want to be known for on the platform. Because the more targeted you are, the faster you are going to grow. And this is actually what I did with a client of mine, Shai. He has a channel called Hoysa Pesca, which is about fishing in coastal Mexico. And this is something he's so passionate about. And he actually started his channel January 2021 from zero. You can see here, 2nd of January this year is when he posted his first ever video. And then in May 2021, so about 5 months later, he actually became monetized on YouTube, and he sent me this message that you see on the right-hand side, that he has been approved to join the YouTube Partner Program, which means now he's actually earning ad revenue purely just publishing his videos. And last time I checked, he also had over 1,000 subscribers. And then I think now he's very close to 2,000. He might even be over, but he also sent me sort of halfway through his journey, end of April, that he was getting very close to the 1,000. And then like a month later, he was already well over 1,000. So this goes to show you, doesn't matter what niche you're in, as long as you are focused and you have a strategy and you take some shortcuts, you are going to grow, even if you start your channel during a year, quote unquote, where it's too late to get started. And now let's move on to the meat of the presentation. So this is about your content types and how you position yourself. And this is based on a method that I identified and one that I used to also grow my own channel. And it basically consists of topics you love talking about, topics you're an expert in, and then topics your people are searching for. And then the best things happen at those intersections. And eventually all of these combine and come to become a part of your channel. So let's talk about the topics you love talking about. Very self-explanatory. So these are things you're very passionate about, you're naturally excited, and things that you love researching and learning more about. Topics you're an expert in, these are things that you have a formal training or education in. These could be things that people already consider you an expert in. So this is very much related to the kind of business that you run. these topics usually probably still get you very excited because you know a lot about it. And because you know a lot about it, the knowledge transfer comes a lot easier. And then the third one is topics your people are searching for. Now, this is so crucial. You cannot have success on YouTube by just creating content that you love talking about and on content that you're an expert in. You need to make sure that whatever you're creating is on demand. So think about what kind of solutions you provide. What are the most frequently asked questions you get in your niche? And these could be things also related to recent and relevant news or other topics where there's a higher traffic of interest. And the best things happen at the intersections. So tier A is what I like to call the path of least resistance content, because this is where the topics you love talking about come and meet the topics you're an expert in. So you can actually create content around this so easily. And because it's coming quite naturally to you, you can just sit and batch create this type of content in one sitting. The tier B content is what I like to call the passion position content, because this is stuff you love talking about and people are searching for, but you're not necessarily an expert in. But in any case, this is going to allow you to create a connection with your audience. And because there is a search volume and you are passionate about talking about these topics, it is still going to help you grow your channel. And because there is probably going to be a high search volume for these topics, it is going to be a bit competitive potentially. So this is where you have to really define your own unique positioning. So this is for the passion position content if you really want to grow and stand out. And then tier C content, Militza says this is very interesting. Yes, I'm glad that this is interesting, and hopefully it's also quite insightful. So tier C content is what I like to call the business growth content. And this is the kind of content that I focus on a lot with my clients, whether that's one-on-one work or in the group program. And that's looking at the topics you're an expert in and see what your people are searching for. So this way you can actually build a profitable audience, meaning that your audience is very targeted and they're looking for the solution that you provide. Therefore, they're more likely to become your clients. And this kind of content will help you grow your channel a lot faster in a much more aligned way, because it's not just talking about passion content, but it's content that you're very much an expert in. Now, there's nothing wrong with tapping into all of these eventually, because remember, I said 80% very targeted content, and then 20% you can talk about other things that you want to share with your audience as well. And this is something that I worked on with Heidi Medina, a client of mine. We really got clear on the topics that she loves talking about, she's an expert in, but most importantly, that people are searching for. And this basically resulted in us coming up with a strategy to find out what are actually people searching for. So every time she actually publishes a video, she knows that it's not going to be a one hit, but it's going to be an evergreen piece of content, meaning someone who is searching for this is always going to stumble upon her video. And this is something very, very important if you want to get started with YouTube and really grow. All right, so before I get into the part that's probably all of our favorites, which is all about the monetization side, let me know if there are any questions that come up so far, whether that's in the replay or whether that's live right now. Just let me know. Could be anything. So we have a comment. I really struggle in general with creating content that flows and connects. Having these sections could really help. Definitely. You really have to make sure that you are still excited to create the content. But while doing that, a big piece of the puzzle is to make sure that it is being searched about. So this is something very important. How can I grow my subscribers? I have one. Well, this is a very, very big question. So obviously, it really does depend on the type of content you're creating, but a very basic tip here is to just really look at the evergreen content. So the stuff that is in the tier C, right? The business growth content. So stuff your people are searching for and things you're an expert in. And if people stumble upon your videos because you've optimized it really well, which is also something I go into so much more detail in the one-on-one work and in the group program, you're going to be able to rank your videos to be found. And the more people find your content and the more they stick around, the more they're likely to subscribe. So you really have to create the right kind of content. There is really no shortcut to growing subscribers. It definitely all boils down to the right kind of content strategy. I know it's not the kind of shortcut answer that maybe we're all after, because at the end of the day, it does take some work to set this up. But once you have a channel set up, it really does the heavy lifting for you, because your videos get suggested to a broader audience without you necessarily having to show up on all the platforms. And slowly going into the money side of things. But before that, let's see. How far in advance do you plan your content for? It's a really good idea to have, well, it really depends how frequently you want to upload your videos. I suggest to not burn yourself out and go with one video per week. And if you have basically one day where you sit and you batch create all those videos for the whole month, you're looking at about creating 4 videos, which actually takes away the overwhelm. And honestly, it's the best thing that I've done for my business in general, just to kind of take that time, make the videos, and those videos are going to work for me literally forever. So it's the best use of your like the most optimal use of your time. And then once you have the videos all optimized for YouTube, you can go ahead and share that on other platforms as you wish as well. Awesome. This confirmed why I'm not active yet. I wanted to get a purpose with it first. Well, we will get to that now, because I think your purpose when it comes to growing a targeted audience on YouTube could definitely relate with how you want to monetize it. So let's definitely take a look at that, because there are 3 different ways you can earn an income having a YouTube channel. And you can definitely build upon these levels with time. And as your audience grows and as you're more on the platform, the higher your earning potential with things that are more in level 3. So the things that are a little bit more higher tickets. So in level 1, you have the Google AdSense revenue, which you basically get for uploading the content on YouTube. And then you can have your audience chip in to your content through something like Patreon, where they sponsor your content, so to say. And you can here also do affiliate marketing. So you can become an affiliate of other people's programs or products, or, sign up for affiliate marketing programs on Amazon. And then level 2 is basically selling lower commitment digital products. So these are things like merchandise, ebooks, templates, workbooks, swipe files. So things that are not too much of a commitment, but that are still valuable for your audience. And here also sponsorships come to the picture. And even though I say this is level 2, sponsorships can really bring you quite a lot of income, even as little as 1,000 subscribers. So when I was at my 1,000 subscriber mark, I had my first sponsorship deal for about 1,500 euros. So it really all just boils down to the kind of channel you want to develop for yourself. And having the monetization strategy before you get started can really help you out here. And then the level 3 is the fun stuff. Here is where you sell your services, your courses. You can even get paid to be a speaker. And this is basically the stuff that you have more control over. And it is a bigger and more integral part of your business. And my top 3 favorites, and the ones that I focus on the most with when it comes to working with my clients, is seeing how you can sell your own digital products and services to your audience. How can you get those paid sponsorships? We really go into so much more detail when it comes to this. You don't need millions of subscribers to get some great sponsorships. And we also look at different affiliate programs you can become a part of, and how you can actually maximize your affiliate income, which essentially is just passive income, right? So all you're doing is just including these affiliate links in your video description. Okay, so now I'm very curious. What are some ways that you'd love to use YouTube to attract additional income? I mean, there are so many different ways, as you've seen, and if you really wanted, you could do them all. And there are creators who do them all. And I mostly focus on, selling my own stuff, affiliate and sponsorships. But YouTube is such a big platform that you could definitely go in any direction. So let me know, what is something that gets you excited about earning extra income on YouTube? Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I really love that. Sponsorship, paid speaker, Google AdSense. I love it. I think those are all really great. And let's see. Melissa says, I think the affiliate links while sharing. Yeah, this is also wonderful. The beauty of, and my services too. Yeah, wonderful. The beauty of affiliate links is that as your audience grows, this affiliate income revenue is going to substantially grow as well. Because believe it or not, people actually do click those links and do make the purchases. And the bigger your audience, the bigger your affiliate income. So this is one of those things that really build up. And selling your own services, of course, there is really no glass ceiling here. You could take that to any heights you want. And Google AdSense revenue is great. This is something that made me personally very excited. I will never forget my first 60 euros that I earned from Google AdSense revenue, and it was just the best feeling ever. And since then, it's basically been doubling almost every month. So this is definitely a great way to earn passive income through YouTube. And sponsorships and being especially a paid speaker are also wonderful. And being a paid speaker, of course, this is when you really reach that level where you are the go-to authority in your field, and people want to know more about you, and they want you to come and do trainings for them. So just to summarize, so we really looked at some ways to think about your niche and get clarity. We spoke about your sub niche to really keep it focused. We spoke about the 80-20, and looking at becoming both your audiences and also the algorithm's best friend by creating those videos that are both being searched by your audience and they're also very much interested in. And also, how do you get paid to spread your message, essentially? So we looked at the 3 different levels of earning income on YouTube. And at the end of the day, having a presence on YouTube is all about being seen, being heard, and being memorable. And this is how you go from being unknown to in demand in your field. Now, for those of you who are live and also tuning into the replay, I have a special invitation. I mentioned before, I'm the founder of Jumpstart YouTube. And as part of Jumpstart YouTube, I have the one-on-one Jumpstart Accelerator. And the idea here is to YouTube your way to high impact leads and consistent income while claiming back your time and headspace. So you're not spending hours doing your marketing, and you are having one key to free two birds, like Charlene mentioned earlier. And the goal here is to get your first 1,000 very engaged subscribers, and most importantly, turn them into paying clients. So this is what we work at during the one-to-one Jumpstart Accelerator. And it's based on the proprietary jump method that I mentioned that I would talk about earlier on in this presentation. And in the jump method, we have four main pillars. The first one is letter J, just niche down. So this is when we look at how you want to position yourself, what kind of content you want to create. But we also look at data to see what kind of traffic and what kind of interest there is on those topics. And if there are no interest, how can we position it so that your channel is basically destined to grow? And I'm a very big believer in looking at data. It's a little bit nerdy and it sometimes scares people, but I'm also a big believer in the saying, what doesn't get measured doesn't get improved. And I make data so fun for my clients. It's almost become something you cannot live without. And letter U is about understanding the algorithm, because a lot of the time people come to me, Gulce, I'm publishing videos, the algorithm is against me, algorithm hates me, I'm not growing. Well, the problem is not really the fact that algorithm hates you. It's because you need to learn how to work with the algorithm. And this is what we talk about in letter U. And letter M, you had a small glimpse of this earlier, but that is monetizing for profit. So how can you amplify your authority, grow your audience while making some profit? And we dive into the best ways you can make this a profitable one for you. And last but not least, letter P is production like a pro, without fancy equipment and without having to hire all the Hollywood level cameramen. So I'm such a big believer in getting started with what you have right here, right now, which most of the time is a smartphone. And if you have a great smartphone that you purchased in the last few years, you already have an amazing piece of tech in your pocket. And I show you basically how to most leverage what you have and create these impactful videos that are going to get people to come back for more without necessarily burning out in the creation process. And we basically go on for 8 weeks. You have access to my online course platform with detailed bite-sized trainings. We have 4 calls that we go on, and in between the calls, we have office hours, and you also have action work. So this is a very, very practical program where by the end of it, you have your videos published. You have about 6 months worth of content already mapped out. That's all optimized, ready to go. And also during the calls, we look at your own specific situation and how things can work for your own business as well. So just to give you an idea of some results you can expect, of course, we spoke about Shai, who grew really fast this year, but he wasn't the only one. So did Stephanie. Stephanie, she's the founder of Start Your Fashion Business, and she's an online coach teaching others to do this. And she also has her own fashion lines. And when we started working together, she basically had not many subscribers. And just after 3 sessions, so after 3 weeks, her subscribers went from 280 to 510 pretty much overnight, as you can see here, as she says, and that her views increased by 4x. And before we started working together, 10th of January this year, she had 181 subscribers. And then after our initial sessions toward the end of January, she had 517 subscribers and 4x video views. But of course, it didn't just stop there. So she had the 560. We were really happy about it. We celebrated. And then in April, she already had well over 1,700. So she actually 3x the growth in the 3 months. And these days, she's getting very close to 3,000 subscribers. So this is last time I checked. And the most important is, as you can see here up on the right-hand side, she actually has an online product that she sells. So not only has her subscribers and views been growing, but more and more people are clicking to watch her webinar, her training, and actually sign on to her program to work with her. So it's really not just about the vanity metrics, but how can you actually earn money by having a targeted audience on YouTube? So if you want to YouTube your way to higher impact, get those leads and turn them into clients and create passive income, I would love to help you. If you want to talk more about it, we can chat more about it. I will be dropping my calendar in the chat as well as down in the comments if you're tuning into the replay. Let's talk about your business. Let's talk about your goals, and let's see if this is a viable way for you to actually get the income you want, get the leads you want, because I believe video is awesome. It really helps build that know, like, and trust factor. And these days, a lot of the platforms are favoring video. So the more you have video content out there, not just on YouTube, but also repurpose that for other platforms, you're going to definitely be doing a lot less work while achieving more with your marketing, which is what I'm all about. Because deep down, I'm quite lazy and I like my things to do multiple different works for me. So now the fun part, some more questions. So let me know if there are any more questions. Awesome. Yeah, I'm really glad. And I really hope that this was valuable. I'm just going to quickly grab the calendar link and drop that. You can just book a call. We will see if YouTube makes sense for you to begin with. And if it does, what are some ways we can actually have it work for your business? And we can get started pretty much end of August. So right in time for the new year, you could have your YouTube channel and then, start 2022 with this new adventure. And thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. So if there are no more questions.
Well, one thing came to mind about YouTube videos. You can get away with just filming and putting it there, right? It has to be edited and with a how do you call it, thumbnail?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, there is some editing involved, but this really depends, because in the beginning you might need a bit more editing, but over time you also become a better speaker and you make your point a lot easier. So you actually don't need so much editing at some point. But it really depends on your preference and how you want your channel to be. And yes, you do also need to think about your thumbnails, because your thumbnails and your titles are very crucial in getting people to actually click and then watch the video. So this is a part of, understanding the algorithm, letter U, where I dive into, how do you create those thumbnails? What are some things to keep in mind when you're making your titles? How do you do that whole SEO research so your videos actually show up in search? And everything I teach is in English, but I also want to mention here, because I'm trilingual, I speak Dutch and Turkish. I'm originally from Turkey. And a lot of these strategies also apply if you want to start a channel in another language as well. So it's basically like taking the same principles and then applying them to basically the language you want to have. So now I'm also starting out the Turkish channel, but the strategies are the same.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Wonderful. Thank you so much for tuning live with me, Melissa and Charlene. This was really wonderful. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. And I really hope that you will be starting your own YouTube channel, because it's just really wonderful. And you start to see like the momentum you're building and the impact, and It's just great. And I'm so glad the platform exists for all of us to leverage. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Gulce.
Okay.
Take
Bye.
care.
Sorry, Gulce. Bye.
Bye bye.